Matt Hill writes, "Hey guys and girls of AMC Movie Talk from England.
Ooh.
Love the show, watch it every day. To my question, with the recent box office success of The Avengers, Iron Man 3, and Thor the Dark World, The Dark Knight Trilogy, and Man of Steel, got me thinking, how long left do you feel that the comic book movies will be popular with the mainstream audiences? Do you think there will come a time where we will never see a comic book movie come out? I really hope not. I feel that it's thanks to the first X-Men film that comic book movies are as popular as they are. Love to hear your thoughts. Thanks, and bring on the filthy."
The question comes up a lot, and it's a fair question, because there was another age of comic book movies that came to a screeching halt with the aforementioned Batman and Robin. That big blockbuster comic book film that was so horrendously terrible, it killed the comic book genre. We didn't have another comic book movie for a number of years. And it really wasn't until X-Men, resurrected the whole comic book genre that we saw comic books get moving again. And I said for a while, there was a period of time where I said, look, comic book movies are hot, but we are just one Batman and Robin away from this era ending. But there have been so many consistently good comic book films now. I think the comic book movie genre can survive a Batman and Robin right now. Actually, I think you can probably survive 2 or 3, maybe not 3. But if you had like one really bad bomb of a huge blockbuster comic book movie and it just bombed, I think you can survive that. 2 in a row might be getting shaky. 3, I think it ends it all. So, I mean, there's that whole thing to keep in consideration as well, is that I think it can survive it. Look, none of us ever asked the question, how much longer can they make cop movies? Forever. How much longer can they make movies about murder? Whatever. It's a genre. It can go on indefinitely if they keep having success. And if we do have 3 bombs in a row, then we'll have 3 or 4 years with no comic book movies, and then somebody will try it again, and if they do it right, it'll start a new era. But things are going pretty strong right now, Jeanette.
Well, I was going to say, I mean, though Batman and Robin that was a franchise killer for Batman, the very next year, Blade came out, which was the rebirth of what Marvel could be. Because remember, DC was just hammering Marvel for years. Mm-hmm. There's Superman, there was Batman. Where's your Marvel movie? Where's your Spider-Man movie? Nothing. Nothing in the 90s. There might have been that Dolph Lundgren Punisher movie. That's it. That's all you got. I mean, I'm saying is there were no Marvel movies. Everything was like in development and falling apart.
Well,
constantly.
David Hasselhoff was Nick Fury. I mean, let's not forget that.
The true Nick
Fury.
The true Nick Fury.
Was that in the 90s? I think that was in like 2000.
Was it?
Yeah.
For some reason, my head is with the 90s.
But so
movie,
Blade
right?
was like the following year, and that was all of a sudden like a bulb went off, and I was like, what's up with that Marvel stuff? Then X-Men was in production. I believe that came out the following year in 2000. And that kind of and no one thought X-Men would be a hit. They were like, yeah, whatever, mutants, get out of here. It was really kind of like a lower budgeted, not just kind of a shake-off film, to be honest with you, when it came out, when was the perception of what X-Men was by studios and by the general public. No one knew who Wolverine was. I mean, that's just the facts. That launched Marvel and created this entire empire of, I think if Marvel all of a sudden for some weird reason released like 3 bombs in a row, I really doubt that would affect. I mean, if like Iron Man 4 just totally sucks,
and
then,
financially bombs,
yes.
and financially bombs, and then Ant-Man is horrible. I mean, I'm not saying this is going to happen, but I'm saying like if for some reason these films just don't hit it with the audience and are critically like, wow, that was a waste, I still don't think that will collapse Marvel. I think they'll be like, well, look, we've also got Captain America, we've got you've got Sony Spider-Man, you have X-Men, Fantastic Four, all these chances that are going to be constantly hitting us for the next several years non-stop. So even if we have 1 or 2 films that don't hit the mark with the public and with the critics, it won't affect Marvel. DC, on the other hand, they don't have that ability to release many films at the same time because they haven't distributed their films to other companies. So they're locked in. They've got Man of Steel 2, Batman vs. Superman, whatever they're going to call it, that's coming out. And we don't know what else is coming out. And that's years.
Yeah.
Like we were talking about, like how many years is it going to take you guys to like get a couple of movies out? It's like put them on, not even fast track them, just put them on a track. I just want some track, a train track. Put Wonder Woman and Flash is moving really slowly towards 2018. Just announce it because it's silly.
I got to disagree with you though about I think if Marvel produces 3 financial bombs in a row, yeah, they still have other characters they can go to, but Walt Disney is not in the business of funding money-losing propositions. I think if we see Marvel put out 3 money-losing films in a row, Disney's going to say, we're going to put on the brakes.
Yeah.
Let's take a breath.
That will never happen.
Oh, no, I don't think it would happen.
impossible.
But
That's
if
just
it did,
it can't.
Disney would say, we're putting on the brakes.
And we'd
I
be
think
like,
they would.
take off your alternate universe. Like, now I'm in another universe of weird suckness.
Yeah.
Yes, all the Marvel movies suck. What? Yeah, I'm coming back to my, you know.
Dennis.
Yeah, I don't think it's going to be such an abrupt halt. There is definitely going to be a peak of the comic book genre, and we may be in it right now. Maybe it'll be next year. It's going to be more of a slow fade. We had like how many, 4 or 5 big comic book movies this year? I mean, not counting like small ones like R.I.P.D. or something like that. I think eventually, you know, we'll start seeing like maybe only 3 big ones or 2, and it'll depend on the financial success, and maybe people will get tired of them, and you'll start to see the box office return slowly dwindle. But I don't know. I don't know if like one movie can just like destroy the whole genre.
Not at this point.
Yeah, I think the whole genre is has a much better foundation now than it did back when Batman and Robin came out.
Yeah,
when Batman and Robin came out, it was like, well, whatever, you know. But now it's like all these people like myself and people older and even younger now that are growing up on comic books and respect comic books, because that was the thing before when comic book movies came out. A lot of the people that were going to see movies didn't read comic books, didn't care about comic books, and quite frankly thought comic books were dumb. So I think this new generation is going to keep it going. And
I also think there's always the people who are like the doomsayers. Like I remember reading like in 2002, a couple of comic book writers were like, the superhero films are all going to be done and over with in 2005.
Every year.
Every year.
But it's
people are
always
saying
like, yeah,
that. I mean,
it's almost done. The comic book movie trend is almost done. They've been saying that for like 15 years.
Right, and what happens? It just keeps multiplying.
Yeah.
So, I mean, 2015, 2016, there's going to be like 15, 20 comic book movies. I don't think it's going to stop, you know,
All right.
thankfully, you know.
If you like this video, be sure to give it a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe to AMC Movie News on YouTube. It's free and a great way to stay updated with all the latest movie news and check out our daily show, AMC Movie Talk. Also, don't forget to check us out on Facebook and Twitter to stay in the loop for our special prizes, giveaways, and contests.